Hey, here we go. Tea with Tom and Alice. We did one of these fairly recently because we were delayed with last week's one. So not much has changed over the last couple of days since we last recorded. So we're thinking different approach this time. We're going to talk, because this comes up fairly regularly, about how do I know if I'm getting a good workout at boot camp? Or am I pushing myself hard enough at boot camp to see the results that I want?
Yeah, I think it's like some people will say to us, "Oh, I'm not seeing results. I'm not seeing changes. I'm not getting any benefits." So we wanted to go into how you know you're pushing yourself hard enough during a class, and it's something we look at a little bit with our training. So you basically look at your heart rate. Strava is a great tool. Most people, I think, are on Strava. And will log their boot camps.
Or Garmin do it, Apple Watches. Everyone's got some sort of fitness watch, tracker watch, that they can use to monitor these results. And you don't need to get carried away with what you're looking at either. It's really simple.
And also, it's worth saying, your watch, it's not the most accurate for your heart rate. The most accurate is one of those bands around your chest. But this is, it gives you an idea of how hard you've pushed yourself at a session. So at the end of your workout, if you go through the stats on Strava or whatever you use to track it.
One point though before, interesting, at the end of a session you should know if you've worked hard. There are a number of ways to tell if you've had a tough session or not, and I think deep down you know if you pushed yourself and had a good session or if you didn't, and these are stats that can help back up what you've done. So if you're finishing a workout, think, oh, that was good, I feel fine, walk off, great. It really depends what you're looking for from the session. But if you're there at a point where you're like, I'm not seeing the results that I want, I feel like I'm working hard enough, but why am I still struggling? This is a good factor to have a look at. Actually, did you push yourself?
Yeah, that's a good point. So first of all, what you'd want to do is get your max heart rate. So the easiest way to calculate this is 220 minus your age. So Tom, you must be like 160 or something.
I actually just chat GPT'd mine. Not that I struggle to do what the 220 minus my age, but there's other ways of measuring it as well. And actually they give you a pretty comprehensive breakdown.
Yeah.
I think it said mine was about 182.
Yeah, so if Tom did boot camp, he knows his max heart rate's about 182. He wants his average heart rate across the 45 minutes to be at about 70 to 80%. Of that number. So what's that number?
So if it's 70 to 80%, that's a relatively tough session.
That shows you're in zone 3, zone 4. So you've been working hard, and that's the average. So obviously there'll be peaks, there'll be lower when you're resting.
And I think at a session you want to see peaks. You want to see an average heart rate of about 70 to 80% of your max. You want to have seen spikes in there where you've upped the intensity. It depends on the session as well. Sometimes they are a little bit more relaxed, but you want to see spikes in there where you've pushed yourself, touching into the high zone 4, zone 5.
Which will be things like burpees, running, med ball slams. When I'm joining in with a boot camp, sometimes I challenge myself to get a super high max heart rate across the 45 minutes. So I'm like, right, I want to have a spike of, let's say, 170 or something. So and then that just means you've got to push yourself on the running, or, your med ball slams are consistent, you keep going.
And you could always turn it into a game. You know what? Why don't we look at our results at the end of a session?
Yeah.
We should finish the session and be like, oh, here we go. This is what I hit.
That's an ace idea. Yeah. So at the end of maybe tonight's session, get everyone to say what their average heart rate is. And I have to say, we did go through Strava and we looked at a few people. Someone recently had average heart rate of 100 beats per minute after a boot camp, and that's 50%. So
I thought you were going to say their name.
No. I mean, we know that you have the days where you turn up and
Not every boot camp has to be a big boot camp. Exactly. It depends how often you're training, how tired you are, where it is in your training schedule. Is it a recovery one? Is the wind just getting there?
And if you're coming 5 times a week, you shouldn't be maxing every session. This is more for people coming 2 times, maybe 3 times. That's if you want to see improvements in your fitness, then that's what you've got to aim for. And then what about our own training? Like, so, so I'm.
You're
training
better
a lot.
at having a plan than I am. We both train a lot, but you're more consistent with your running and boot camps.
Well, so I've got Kirkhill 8 this Saturday, so that's an 8-hour lapped endurance event. It's a little bit a challenge for me. It's one thing because everyone always asks Tom and I if we're going to take part in Saltire 24, and we're like, we can't. If we could, we would, but as the organisers, we can't actually join in. So
It's funny they asked that actually.
Yeah,
They're like, "Oh, are you doing the event as well?" I'm like,
so I'm quite excited
"No,
to be like,
we have
no,
our own
yeah.
24-hour challenge going on that day."
It's really 48. By the time Saltire starts, we're
Oh,
exhausted.
Friday morning we're there first thing.
Yeah.
Saturday morning it kicks off. Sunday morning it ends. Sunday afternoon we've tidied up whatever we can be bothered tidying up with.
And we're usually back on Monday or Tuesday.
By the way, I just realised I was sitting back fiddling with the tape measure under the table, and I was like, God, that doesn't look very good for the video.
Right, I'm glad you explained.
So I was
Anyway.
like, lean forwards, be more engaged, present with you guys.
Back to Kirkhill 8. So that it's a little bit of market research, but it's also, I love supporting local races, and I want to have the challenge to learn for it for Saltire. And so yeah, I haven't done any long runs.
How's your motivation been training for it? I mean, I guess
I
the lack
haven't
of
trained
long
for
run.
it. Like, I've been working on trying to get a faster 5k and a faster 10k, which is not what you do for an 8.
I was about to say, I'll sign up for an 8-hour running race, but I really want a faster 5k.
But it's lapped, and yesterday I had a trial run where I was like, I'm going to test out my kit and I'm going to see like what sort of pace I have to do, because I just
As
want
well
to,
as your food and
and
nutrition.
I just want to keep going for the 8 hours. That's
Let's
my goal.
just say Alice
So-
rushed back.
Okay, Dawn, thank you. So I walked the hills and I tried to keep my heart rate under 150. So I wanted to keep it in zone 2 because for endurance, that's what you got to do. So then I'm hoping on Saturday, like that's my game plan, walk the hill, and then it doesn't sound so awful, you know, doing it for 8 hours. And you get, everyone says it, ultra runs are just a walking picnic. So I love food. So
Let us know if an ultra run is a walking picnic to you. I'd love to know how many people think ultra run is a walking picnic.
But what about you? Like, what intensity wise?
So my training tends to revolve around sport. I play a lot of sport, a lot of tennis, but it's so sporadic. I probably do something just about every day. Step count's always way up. Gym sessions, couple a week. Normally with a view of intensity. Like I do a boot camp style training myself and try and focus on that zone 3 and 4. I've got one of those High Rocks races coming up, or similar, one like it.
Have you got your, did you put that on Strava, your High Rocks?
No.
I'd be so interested, I'll have a look. I'd be so interested to see
What it was like.
what your heart rate would have been for that, because that's like high
I
intensity.
like to wing these events. I've also signed up to Isla Half Marathon. I'll sign me up to Isla Half
I've
Marathon.
written him a training plan.
Written me a training plan, starts with 9k today. I've never trained for these before. I used to just rock up and wing it, and I could get away with it. And like with an average time, like nothing amazing. Then I rocked up and winged Mull Half Marathon, and I crashed and burned. It's hard to explain. I had a plan in my head of just pacing it.
This is what life working with Tom. Tom's got plans in his head. Like, you know, that he just thinks to just work it.
Yeah, that's it. And everyone just overtook me. Like the last kilometre, it honestly felt like the last person in the race overtook me, and I crossed the line. Just a shadow of my former self.
Broke it was very fun.
So this time I'm not going to let that happen. But since then I've done more running. My training's at an average pace. I feel pretty good. Tennis is great. If anyone plays tennis once again. But I need more of a plan, and I think I'm starting, especially with the High Rocks thing coming up, I'll keep focusing on the event. Got a bit of a shoulder injury, so working through that. Why are you laughing?
Working through that, you know, it's just...
And that's probably me.
Okay. Someone asked me what our recovery's like. How, like, I think we're quite good for getting... We go to a lucky massage.
Regular massage, foam rolling.
Yeah,
I've started
it's
doing
a
them
Thai
all.
massage actually, 2 hours. You definitely go once a month.
Oh, if that now, but
If
I
that.
need to go a bit more.
The more you go, the better it is. Like, the first one's absolutely brutal and you think you're never going to go again, but the day after you just feel like...
But you can do regular stuff at home with a foam roller.
Yeah.
Don't neglect that, because I'm feeling way better for having done mine. After the Wednesday foam roll, I'm like,
Yeah.
right, I'll do a little bit more every day. Did a bit more in the gym this morning.
Well, maybe that's
especially lats.
something we have to do as well. Incorporate that a little bit more into Rebel, like either a YouTube video, foam rolling, or some stretching.
Yeah.
I love a good hip stretch because I think hip stretch fixes everyone's squats. Like a lot of the time, if you're leaning over, it's because you've got tight hips or sometimes tight ankles. Is it like so? But I find if I've done a good hip warm up mobility, then my squat, even the same day, is way deeper than if I haven't.
Yeah, important.
So that's 10 minutes. Is there anything?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's been useful. Some of you guys watch this. Ask us questions if you want.
Yeah.
Especially about form or recovery or training. Track your sessions.
Yeah, and
do it.
Yeah, let's check your average heart rate after your next boot camp.
It'll be interesting because, like you say, you'll be like, "Am I getting the results I want?" Have a look at your heart rate.
Do you guys think Tom still interrupts me a lot of the time when I'm talking? By the way.
Let us know below. Why did I do it?
Like multiple times, Tom.